to the Up at Noon Challenge. I'm Max Scoville. I'm joined by Jason Blundell, who is the director of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies. And you guys have a new DLC on the way?
We sure do. Godod Krovi.
What?
Godod Krovi.
What is this about?
It means City of Blood.
Oh, that sounds cheerful. Let's check it out. Let's get in here. Let's screw around. So, there's a very important keyword that was in the subject of the email that resulted in us sitting here today.
Yeah.
Do you know what that word is?
No, tell me.
The word is dragon.
Okay.
Because zombies isn't enough. I mean, zombies. Okay. What is that? What is that? There's a dragon. Why is there a dragon in Call of Duty? What have you done?
I've done nothing. All I do is I provide the lens for you to look through. We're looking at an alternate universe. We're looking at the Battle of Stalingrad. And I think we've represented a really true historical representation of how the Battle of Stalingrad played out, which was huge Russian mech robots and a resurrection of the ancient beasts, which I think you're colloquially referring to as dragons. And that's what we've kind of depicted here. Once again, a very serious representation from Treyarch Studios.
I'll be honest, I didn't pay attention in school much, so you could be honest right now.
This is a solid English education that's giving you this. Why would you question that?
American public schools aren't great, so
I can tell now. I can tell it's shocking.
So what, aside from ancient creatures of all sorts and sizes raised from beyond, what else is new here?
Where do you want to start? I mean, we got new weapons. We've
what
got
kind of new
bad
weapons?
Guys. We have the much anticipated ray gun Mark III. 3, not 2, 3. We from the very original World at War, where we started off with the original ray gun, we've been moving it slowly forward, and we're at Mark III now, which was brought in by Peter McCain, who's a story guy from way back when, from the World at War days, and
cool.
He was also in the intro IGC. He was that body kind of falling down.
Oh, nice.
And in the previous map, which is DLC 2, which is called Zetsubo no Shima, you can practice that one as well. He said he'd brought in experimental weapon version 3, and that's in the map.
I think experimental is the best word to just give yourself that much creative freedom to just...
Oh, you wouldn't believe the latitude in which I play, and it's wonderful. Wonderful.
Surprised there's any wood left here.
So you mentioned big mechs?
Yeah.
What kind are they? What do they do?
Oh, well,
will we get to see one today, or are we just going to be fighting?
You might see many.
Oh, good.
So when we've kind of jumped into Stalingrad at this point, the Russians stole technology from Group 935, which was the German experimental group, and they took that technology and made their own Russian mechs. Now, we saw the huge Russian robots in Origins, which was DLC 4 of Black Ops 2. And now the Russians have made their own versions, and they were battling against the ancient beasts, the dragons as you called out, which were made by Division 9. I can see I'm blowing your mind. I'm going to keep it. They were made by Division 9, which we played in Zetsubo no Shima, which was DLC 2. So
okay, you're going deep here. Also, there's the friggin' dragon.
There's one.
The other Nikolai.
There's one.
Even with all his ranting, I sure hope he's.
I don't know if I can either confirm nor deny that's a dragon, but there's definitely something in the sky there.
There's something up there. It's hard to tell with this amazing graphical fidelity. Whose voice is that? Who's that voice actor?
I think that was Nikolai 1.0, which is a guy called Fred Tattershaw doing that. Phenomenal voice actor. And he's the map. That's the purpose of this map. So as each of the DLCs, we've been going in and capturing the souls of the 1.0 crew. So this is a story. The zombie story has been told over the last 8 years during the World at War. This is our Origins crew, and they're going in and killing each one of the original cast and capturing their soul into the summoning key, which is an ancient device which Richtofen found, and he found it through the aid of a book called the Chronorium. By the way, that's an exclusive for you right there.
Oh, wow.
Said anyone else.
I mean, I don't get when people like roll their eyes at Call of Duty being the same old, because you guys are...
Oh, no, this is the same old.
I can't say the word, but when a bat goes to the bathroom and then the word insane after that. So, like, this is ridiculous. You guys are completely over the top with this.
Just tell me, I'll just keep going.
Keep going. Go nuts.
Okay, so what we got? So we got Division 9. So Division 9 is the Japanese research group that kind of reanimated or did the genetic experiments and made us our dragons, right? So we had Group 935, that's the German stuff. They did more the mechanical stuff. So they did the big robots, they did the wonder weapons. Maxis used to originally work with them. DLC 2, we looked at Division 9, and that was where we had Takeo, which was the honor suffers under the waves. We had that kind of cipher out there. We found Takeo, and he killed himself at the end of the Easter egg.
Ooh.
There you go, there's one there. And now we're going to see Nikolai. And in the intro IDC, we saw him in this mech kind of fighting the dragons. And he got thrown into a building. And now the quest is, how do we get Nikolai? Because we need his soul for the summoning key.
What were,
Just a recap for you there.
wow, okay, so
Yeah.
I know that the question some people would ask is, what have you been smoking? But I think the real question is, what have you been reading and playing and watching? Like, what were your big inspirations going into this, aside from clearly accurate history?
Well, absolutely. That's paramount. Here's the thing I would say, and this gets asked a lot, and usually the drug question starts off. And,
Yeah, sure.
Keep away from drugs, kids. It's not drug-induced. It's what's called creativity-induced.
Oh, imagination. Imagine that.
So what I say is read books,
Yeah?
read comics,
Mm-hmm.
watch as many genre films, watch old films, watch films of different genres that are, don't go out and go, I'm making a game about zombies, so I'll watch all the zombie films.
Sure.
Watch and read different kind of things, and it will help with when you're kind of going to different places. Because
What a novel concept.
it's crazy,
Broaden
isn't
your
it?
own horizons.
It's kind of weird because people will talk to me and say, oh, so obviously you watch this film, about zombies. I'm like, no, actually, I deliberately steer away from those things. So that's kind of what we do. And then on top of this, you're talking about an incredibly creative team at Treyarch. We've got 300 guys there. They've been working together for 10 plus years. There's a certain shorthand that's developed when a team has worked together of that kind of talent for so long. And that's what allows us to create kind of the the DLC kind of content at such high quality now, is the number of people and the joint experience they have at Treyarch.
All right. Now, you mentioned comics there.
Yeah.
San Diego Comic-Con is coming up very shortly. Do you guys have a presence there?
It's
At all?
spooky that you would say that to me.
Huh.
Wow.
Anything you could possibly tease about what might possibly be something you're going to be discussing?
So we announced on our live stream that we are making a zombies comic.
Oh!
And we're doing that with our partners at Dark Horse Comics. And we're making a series of comics. And what we found was there's so much story that we're telling. We're essentially at the end of this DLC season, which is just coming up soon, DLC 4. We had so much story to tell that we were looking at other mediums to be able to kind of convey it. So we asked for a rip, as they say. We asked for a comic to be done, and it allows us to fill in certain bits, because I'm putting these brackets around the storyline. This storyline's, as I said it before, an 8-year story, but there was so much extra stuff to do that having a comic allowed us to kind of put a more considered storyline in a very static way. Because when you're playing a game, as a director, there's only so much stuff. It's not like a film. You can't,
Sure.
You don't know exactly where the player's looking or listening and so forth, which is fantastic in one way. But the comic medium is phenomenal for, you can consider each pane, you can consider each page. I know where the camera is, I know where your attention is, I know what dialogue you're going to read.
And it also, you can, I mean, remote play is great, but it's easier to read comics on the toilet,
That's true.
Or on the bus, or,
That's true. And we got some phenomenal stuff, and we're bringing Simon Bisley back, who's doing our front cover. Who,
oh, nice.
Huge 2000 AD logo, all those kind of good stuff fans. And he's a friend of our studio, and he did the Giant poster when we did the Giant, which is the remake. And so he's doing all our covers for the Zombie series.
Oh, and here's your beautiful cinematic intro
Yeah.
with Motorhead.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Lemmy.
Oh, Lemmy.
Thank you so much for showing this off.
No, sir.
When is your Comic-Con panel?
I don't know the date off the
You don't
top of my
know the
head.
date?
I don't know. Literally, I was on the live stream, and I had a guy with cards telling me.
Okay.
Literally, a nice lady brought me here in the first place. I wouldn't know where I'd be if I didn't have handlers to
These
kind of
things
take me around
happen.
the place.
I
Yeah.
have handlers as well. Thank you so much for coming by and showing things off. Where
problem.
can people keep track of what's going on with zombies?
Well, I would absolutely recommend joining into the any of the Treyarch kind of social channels. We keep them nice up to date, and we also like to put our Easter eggs and other things in there. All the kind of channels that we use, our YouTube channel, our Twitter and so forth, Instagram, at Treyarch is a key source for anyone who's following the zombie story.
Killer. And when's this DLC on the loose?
It's already out now.
It's already out.
Yeah.
So there you go. Go get
Yeah.
it. If you want to fight a dragon, you want to listen to Motorhead, you want to fight some zombies, that's the thing you can do. Because you guys are really weird.